Me too, so I might have to leave. But because you're going to see some graphic stuff that's in the school system for second graders. Second grade being 7 years old, 8 years old. I'm a dad, I'm a grandpa, and I fight for our kids. I fight hard. I'm a certified child early development counselor, and I look at things from the ground up. So that's just quick about me. I'm going to introduce Ms. Anna.
My bio is a little bit shorter. I'm mom of 4. My family immigrated from communist Romania when I was 8. And we ended up coming from nothing, and now I own 5 businesses in Lake County. Yes. So all 4 kids of mine are homeschooled. Yep. I unfortunately do not believe in the school system, and I consider it as they come. So, all right, Tim, you ready? All right. Time to scare some people. I apologize. Y'all, this isn't going to be real pretty, but
we're going to breeze through this quickly. We don't want to take up your time. It's about 10 to 12 minutes tops. Unless I start rambling or preaching, then you got to cut me off. So, Raise Right Foundation, to us, foundation means base. We're building from the ground up, starting with our children. Quote by Frederick Douglass, it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. Definitions, and a lot of people don't get this. Father, the biological counterpart used for conception. Dad, the male role model who actively participates in the child's development, including non-biological, uncle, stepdad, older brother, even a good neighbor. Layman's terms, any fool can be a father. It takes a real man to stick around and be a dad. Anybody recognize this man? We're going to go through a couple of TV dads that I respected as a kid. Ward Cleaver, no nonsense. When he came down that block in his convertible, who remembers Eddie Haskell, the neighborhood knucklehead? Even Eddie Haskell took off. Mrs. Cleaver would say, boys, your father's home, you're going to get it. Everybody knew, don't mess with Ward Cleaver. How about this show? Jim, respected businessman, insurance salesman, but it's in the title. Father knows best. If there's a question, go ask your father. That's how I grew up. How about this show? Phil Robertson. Fantastic man, matriarch of the family, respected by his wife and his children, multi-millionaire, but still respects God. He's a God-fearing man. Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Attorney, loved by his wife and kids, even took in his knucklehead nephew and helped raise him. So he was his dad. Dukes of Hazzard. Uncle Jesse, matriarch, not even the biological of them, but took them in, raised up. This was my TV dad for years, I could say. And again, they got canceled for race, right? Race issues, Confederate flag. This iconic show featured more black actors than Seinfeld and Friends combined. So how did they get canceled?
Bueno, sí. ¿Cómo estamos?
I don't speak Spanish, so that's not me. Translate, everybody. Oh, Spanish show, George Lopez. That was a perfect segue. God helps out sometimes. It's just fantastic. In this one, Mike Baxter, conservative businessman, father, grandpa, but the name says it all. He was our last man standing as far as conservative TV dads, and they canceled him. Now we got the buffoonery. Not respected by his peers, his neighbors couldn't stand him, his wife took all his money every time he got paid, kids didn't respect him, and even the dog peed on him in an episode. That was the start of the downfall. Why did they do this? Predictive programming. We're busy parents. We get home, pick up the kids. We get home, TV's on, you park Junior and the daughter in front of the TV for hours while we're cooking dinner, cleaning the house, doing different things. The TV are raising our children. So they started getting to the shows early with the slow drip. Why? Brain development. From birth to age 5, the brain develops more than at any other time. What a child is exposed to in that short window permanently shapes their character by 5 years old, folks. Proverbs 22:6. Train up the child in the way they should go. When they were old, they will not depart from it. It's your core. It's who you are. There's a business that has this in their marketing plan. You know the company. Anybody? Nothing?
Hobby Lobby.
McDonald's. Who remembers Happy Meals in a box with the toy? Right? Hamburglar, Grimace, Ronald, and the Play Place. You could not pass the Golden Arches without kids freaking out in the car. Mostly a station wagon. That's what my dad drove. But my dad ate McDonald's. I ate McDonald's, as you can tell. My kids ate McDonald's and my grandkids. That's 4 generations of repeat customers based on that scripture. So who we are. We're a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our mission is to instill positive values and patriotic principles in our youth for generations to come. Our youth are our future lawmakers. They're going to make the decisions on how we live in the future. We're 20 years out from the next generation. And we can say, if we start now, we'll get them. As long as we start now. We ran through this briefly about Anna and myself. There's another gentleman involved. He's not here tonight. Mike, he's a dad of 2. He's a retired IRS CID agent. He's an author. He's an IRS enrolled agent currently, keeps us in compliance and out of prison. He's a media personality, a business owner, and a former congressional candidate. Great guy. Wish he was here. I'm going to warn you. What you're about to see may take some adjustment at first, but it's going to flash at you and you'll get it. The gentleman you're about to see, his name is Jeffrey Marsh. Anybody ever heard of him? He spoke in all 50 states, including Florida, to kindergartners. He goes into kindergartens, says he's your special friend. Now, imagine 5-year-old impressionable kids. He's your special friend. If you tell anyone, he will disappear and never come back like the tooth fairy. Okay? Bring your mind down to 5-year-old. The teachers are given his book and instructed is not to leave the classroom. Why is this? So the parents have no idea. So hold on to your seats, folks. And I gotta turn the volume up here.
I want to talk to the kids. Parents watch the video and then hand the phone over to the young kids. Hi there. I get asked a lot, are you a boy or a girl? And I love that question. And so I wanted to just tell you, sometimes human beings are more than boy or girl. Sometimes we're something else. Sometimes we're both. Sometimes we kind of float in between, and sometimes we're a boy, sometimes we're a girl. Because human beings are creatures, and we're wild and exciting. But I want to ask you a favor. If you see a kid like me, or an adult like me, would you be extra nice to them? Would you do me a favor and be very, very kind? Yeah, like anybody, we can feel lonely. And so if you're kind to us, it would be really, really important.
Your kindergarten grandchildren are seeing this guy. He's got over 1 billion views on social media. He's backed by, well, let me retract a little bit. And I'm not taking all Anna's time, I'm sorry. He's been on Oprah Winfrey. He's been featured on the O magazine, and he was given an anonymous donation to his nonprofit for $35 million. Did you see what happened with Joe Biden tonight? He's going to be funding the LGBTQ movement in schools nationwide. Billions of dollars. We're trying to fight that as much as we can for them. These are some of the books that are currently in schools. All Boys Aren't Blue. That little man up top is 3 years old. What's he doing with that flag? He has no idea what it is. The little boy below, his name is Desmond. He's 9 years old. He's the front face of the youth LGBTQ movement. They go to schools and speak currently of this action. How many are discussing? All right. This book, Girl Stuff, is from the Cooper Memorial Library in Lake County, Florida. I got this out of my daughter's room. It was a reading assignment. 8-year-olds this book is made for. It says 8-year-old age on there. This book teaches girls and boys to masturbate. This was a school reading assignment. But here's the problem. There's social media challenges that these kids are masturbating with electric toothbrushes. Girls are breaking their hymens at 8 years old. And there was a little boy here in Florida had to get rushed to the hospital to get the head of the toothbrush out of his rectum because it broke off. These are facts, folks. You can look it up for yourself. What you're about to see, I want you to do a quick clockwise view of this picture, absorb it, because it's only up there for a couple of seconds and it disappears. This is second grade that this book is in, just so you know. You ready? Clockwise view.
Oh my God.
How many have seen that before? You've seen that before, okay. Second grade, how does a 7-year-old, 8-year-old process that? Bullies are in the boys' bathroom making the weaker beta kids do that because of that book. This part, Anna, please take over. Now I'm frustrated, but we got a fight ahead of us, folks.
How many of you have heard about furries? In Lake County, we have a furry in one of our elementary schools. That is a child who wants to be an animal, dresses like an animal, must get treated like an animal. It is to be addressed as the animal it depicts. In Lake County, it meows, and the teacher needs to talk to it like a cat. California stated that they will not allow the litter boxes that parents requested, they provide, so their children, their furry children, could use. In Michigan, on the other hand, children have been defecating in the halls. And this is now coming to Florida, our Republican state. In Lake County, a Republican county, the school board has allowed, at this point, one furry. There's two. Yep. So this started, how many of you are around 40s, 50s, like me? Back about 20, 30 years ago, did y'all hear about furry conventions? The young 20-year-olds heading to furry conventions, and they would dress up like animals so they could have orgies and have sex while dressed up as a furry. Those people grew up, and they had children. So that was even depicted on TV shows 20 years ago. CSI, exactly. Yep, it was on CSI.
So, can someone explain what went wrong? How do we get from Ward Cleaver to that? Simple answer. Foundation of the family was replaced. They took dad out of the picture. Dad has been replaced with so many things, mostly social media now. These kids are 6, 7, 8 years old. They're running the house. How many have kids still at home? Okay. How many sit down and eat dinner as a family still? And be honest. God bless you. The Last Supper was about sitting down as a unit. We have lost that in America. That's where you learn from your kids what's going on, who their friends are, where they're going, where they've been. That has crumbled because we park in front of a TV tray in front of the TV. That has to stop. And the churches, I'm a minister, I've been a pastor since 2010. I see the churches empty. I see the youth department go from 200 kids, now there's 8 kids that show up. And the parents drop them off at the curb. That's our fault. We're responsible for this.
It's their fault.
Why? This is an extinction of dads. 100%. The system is rigged. A little loud. But we're coming, folks. We have a plan.
The sound.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I blew the speaker. We got a plan, and we're coming. Our educational program, something so simple as a coloring book. It's a slow drip of antidote. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And there's a reason why. Our mentorship programs, Alpha for elementary, Sigma for middle school, Omega for high school. We don't just take them, give them a book, and hope for the best. We stick with them all the way to high school. How many people here went to trade school? Couple, right? College debt when you graduated? Probably not. I have friends, I went to a trade school, so they didn't have a good football program. My dad said that's enough of that. The trade school, friend of mine graduated HVAC. No debt, first year working with his uncle at the age of 18, made $90,000. Needs to say he was my best friend for years. What we do is a give one, get one. You order a book, we give one to an institution for free. We're trying to blanket this state. Florida is the first state for a reason. Can you spell Florida without the Lord? No. That's on purpose. God has us here for a reason. So again, we are the antidote. Florida has, to date, 199,555 kindergartners enrolled in public school, and that number is growing exponentially. So we have work to do. Our goal, get one of our Raise Right books into the hands of each kindergartner, free of charge, of course, because it takes 10 minutes to color a picture. 10 minutes. But that's, it's embedded in their subconscious mind. So when they're 18, 19, and they're thinking about marriage and different things, they know, hey, I remember that book. I remember mom and dad. It's good to have a family. When I was 6 years old, I told my parents I was going to have a family in Florida. They looked at me like I was crazy. Here I am. And I am crazy. Me and him had a good conversation before we did that. Childtrends.org, every person will have an audience of 100,000 people minimum in your lifespan. That's statistics. How you influence those people is up to you, positive or negative. If we reach our Florida goal, we can reach the world population with a positive influence. And remember, this takes 20 years to work. We'll see the fruit of our labor 20 years from now.
Joseph, he's 7, and he's been dying to ask you a question. He's been eating kid report. It's a good question, too.
What's up, Joseph?
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. Many people say you're their hero, but who's your hero?
Who's my hero? That's a great question. Well, I think my dad is my hero because he's someone that I look up to every day. And
Even legends have heroes, folks. And of course, Tom Brady went on to win that Super Bowl. His dad is his hero. I remember the days my dad played linebacker, I played linebacker. I remember being in the backyard, learning from him, watching his footsteps, being a man. He knocked me down, I get back up, we'd shake hands, laugh, and do it all over again. I look forward to it. What happened to those days? We gotta let kids be kids again, folks. Take the sexuality out of it. I know Ron DeSantis is fighting for the, what's it? Don't say gay bill. Let's get that done. That'll help, but we still gotta fight. So, thank you for your time. Our website, raiserightfoundation.org. You can check us out, or you can scan the QR code. We'll be outside. If you got any questions, we'll be out there. We have some books in there. What's the donation? I don't handle the money. I'm not allowed to at home, and I'm not allowed to here. Her and my wife are good friends, so I get yanked all the time. But God bless you, folks. Thank you for your time, and help us in this fight.
Thank you, John. Thank you. We appreciate your presentation. We're going to stick around. We're going to be out in the lobby.